Jayme, go ahead.
Okay, I think I was letter R. So I was saying, sorry, my screen just went all crazy. To be real. I'm huge on, you cannot, kind of goes along with what I said before, you cannot be another coach. Yes, it's totally cool to find a coach you really, really like and like their style and like how they do things that kind of helps you kind of get ideas. But don't compare yourself to the point where you feel like you have to do everything they do. It takes away from you being you. And that's how people connect with you guys. You have to be you. And that's where I have always said, my word is believe. From early on, that became my word to the point I had tattooed on my wrist. So I always say to my coaches, you have to start believing in yourself and what you can add to other people's lives, the value you add to them. So be really real and genuine and raw and open and be yourself. You are going to go so much farther in this business when people really see who you are. So yeah, going live on a video is like the scary, scary thing. But honestly, that's where people really get to see who you are. So you're going to see more and more of that as you know. I mean, now you can even go live on Instagram. So that's definitely the direction it's going. So I have really been challenging my team to go live a few times a week, to really get themselves out there so people can see who they are. So I challenge you to start doing that a little more too. All right. What letter am I on? A? Okay. This is a one you're going to hear a lot too. You have to accept failure. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I have fallen on my face in this business. And people see like all these top coaches and everything's so great, but I will tell you right now, they failed so many times to get where they're at. A lot. And you have to just remember that's part of the process. It is. There are so many people though who fail and then they quit. You can't quit. You're going to have to realize if you're failing forward. If you've ever read that book, it is true. You do fail forward. You learn from the things that you make mistakes on. I mean, like I said, 2016 was definitely a year of change for me and my team. Huge changes. And, I failed a lot this year, but I learned so much about myself. And I think my coaches learned so much about themselves as well. And you just have to keep going. Those moments of failure are the moments that you are going to learn, and then you get to share. You get to share that with the people that you bring onto your team. So people like on my team, they say, that will sound really good one day when I'm up on stage at Summit. I'm like, absolutely. So hold on to those moments of failure because they become part of your story. They become a part of your journey. You just have to embrace that, and don't think that you're not doing things right because you're failing. You don't fail unless you totally quit. I believe in that completely, 100%. All right, G, grow daily. I am the biggest fan of personal development because I did not do any personal development probably the first 2.5 years as a coach. That just wasn't something that was really talked about doing, or if they did, I thought it was like weird. I was kind of like, what? Like we're reading to improve ourselves? I mean, this journey has been such a journey, guys. You learn so much about yourself. But when I picked up The Slight Edge, that was my first personal development book. I wish I could remember the day. But that was truly when something switched in me where I realized, okay, like I'm a student. I'm a forever student. I am forever going to be working on myself and improving myself. And that is truly what this business is about. It does start with you. And if you aren't focused on improving yourself, you're not going to be able to help other people. You're not going to be able to motivate and encourage and do all those things if you are struggling so much inside. And it is a journey with that. And it's okay if you are. Don't think that you can't help other people if you're really in a place of struggle, because I will tell you, it is a constant journey of this. We all have our highs. We all have our lows. But if you are consistent with your personal development and working on yourself, you're going to be able to get past those lows. And those highs are pretty awesome when you get back to those. So personal development, I mean, some of my absolute favorites. I'm a huge Joel Osteen fan. I love the Power of I Am. I teach affirmations to my team. We write them every day. We write our goals every day. So if you're not familiar with I Am statements, things like I am strong, I am a believer, I'm a good mom. Sometimes you just got to tell yourself those things. If you're a mom, you got to hear it. Whatever it is that's going in your life. I have a journal, and I write in that journal every morning. If you have listened to or read The Miracle Morning, those are huge. It kind of helps you to set that routine for your morning. That was really where I changed. Like I flipped that switch where I felt like going for 15 kind of started happening because we got so in a routine together, me and the team that we were pushing together. And we did so much together in sync that, it really was a team thing because we did it totally together for sure. But personal development is huge. It's going to help you build that confidence. And Lord knows we all need anything that's going to boost confidence when you are in the public eye and people are going to make comments and you got to keep yourself built up. All right, letter E, erase negativity. You have got to get the negativity out. And the sad thing is I ran into negativity a lot early on, and it could have stopped me. It could have totally kept me from moving forward. When I said that I was going to quit my job as a teacher, my own family thought I was insane. Like they thought I was a crazy person, that I thought I was going to leave my secure teaching job to do this fitness thing. And I could have let that stop me. But I believed in what this was doing for myself so much that I didn't let that stop me. Plus, that's where your personal development comes in to play big time. It's going to help you. So you're going to run into negative people. You're going to run into negative comments. You just have to learn to remove yourself from that. And if you do run into it with people who are close to you, I have found, just to have that conversation and just be like straight up about where you are and where you stand and what you believe in. And you know what? The people who love you and support you, they will. They will, because they'll see it. And that was a big thing, was really proving to other people that this was a for real thing. Like I was in it for a lifetime. And I just continue to prove that, and, still run into negativity. It's going to happen. So just erase any negativity that you can. Keep yourself as positive that you can. Find a group of coaches that you just really connect with that are positive too, to kind of hold hands with and do this with. That's going to help you. Find coaches on other teams too, guys. I'm so fortunate I had awesome coaches that teamed up with me, and we went for 15 together. So that was an awesome thing to have too, because you are going to hit some moments where you might want to quit, and you have to have those people in your life that are going to push you and keep you going. So, all right. That is all I have. So did you have questions that you wanted to do, Caitlin?
Thank you. That was so awesome. I loved how you spelled that word out. I just loved everything about that. So thank you so much for sharing that. And sorry we had to log out and log back in.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm glad everybody came back on though. So thanks, guys. I have some questions. First of all, I just kind of want to wrap up some of the points you made that I thought were so good. And I keep hearing about the Miracle Morning, so I need to read this. And I just now wrote it down. Obviously, I've never written it down before because it hasn't happened yet. So I will be getting that book.
And there's actually, the better one is the Miracle Morning for network marketers. It's the second. Oh. And it's honestly better because that's
what we do.
For us. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. So some of the main points you touched on, share what scares you most. And that is usually what's hardest. So kind of tackle what's hardest for you. Yeah, that's a big deal. And that it's hard. It's hard to do, but I'm so glad you touched on that because I've been in this 18 months now or so, and it's it doesn't really get easier, but I know that's where my focus needs to be if I want to push past those barriers. So I love that you said that. Of course, getting out of your comfort zone, that goes right along with that. And that's where you said you saw changes. So, I mean, that's what works. And don't say no to those opportunities that scare you. So again, I see a theme here, courage. You have to have courage through all of this. And we just can't say no when those opportunities arise, because we're never going to grow. That's where we grow, is within those opportunities. So, and then we cannot quit, and we have to fail forward. I love that saying. I haven't heard that in a while. So awesome reminder there. And that's going to stick with me for a while. And of course, pushing personal development. I appreciate that, because they all say that. Everybody says that. And just the fact that we're hearing it from you, it just kind of validates that even more. So we have Team High Ground, our parent team, and Team Edge. My team, we have a PD group going between the two of us. Actually, all of our teams that are kind of interrelated are doing a PD group all together on Facebook. So it's very cool. So we will keep up with that for sure. And I'm going to look into these I am statements, because that seems like a good activity for our team too. So
yeah, that's part of the Miracle Morning. There's like a few things you can do, and doing your affirmations is one of those.
I love that. So I'll start off asking a question, and I'm opening up for everybody else's question. I have several, but I'll just ask one for now. So when you went full time, kind of to get into some of this nitty gritty, when you went, I'm curious. So when you were teaching and coaching, how did you see the difference, the shift in your day to day, in your mom balancing, in your kids' behavior, all that, making that shift to full time? And what is full time for you at that point? Kind of like, what did that day look like?
Well, I will be honest. The structure of when I was teaching, I was honestly better than that first year when I was home. Because it was like, oh, I have all day. And I didn't have like a set schedule. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? But that was what was wrong. My structure was gone, and I didn't plug back into that immediately. So that's why I'm so huge on my coaches setting their work hours, setting their schedule, and sticking to that, and keeping their priorities. If your family is your number one priority, then it needs to be, and you're not doing things that, take you away from that. And, it can really happen if you're not setting that schedule in that time. So for me, when I was working full time, I had only that certain amount of time that I could work my business. So I did. So it was getting up early before everybody else, before I went to work, and doing the things I needed to do. It was working through my lunch hour and doing my messaging and all that during my lunch, and listening to something in my earbuds, while I was doing that during my lunch. And then the big part of time for me was after all my kids had gone to bed. And like I said, it's wonderful having a supportive spouse, because I run into that a lot. It's not always easy for the spouse to understand why they're putting time into something like that. So it did take some time for him to understand, but once he did, he's not complaining now, but but that does take time. And I think it also helps when they understand your passion and why you want to put that time into it. So yeah, I would work, late hours, and then turn around and get back up. And I said that one year that I did that huge push to be able to go full time, I would do it again. It was absolutely worth it, to now get to take my kids to school and get to be the one that picks them up and be home with my 3-year-old all day. And, I took a nap this morning. That's not something I normally do, but I could. So it was worth it. It was worth to be able to live how I choose now. Definitely worth it.
How do your just to kind of go right off of that, how do your office hours look now? Because there are several of us here that have kids that are still at home, like the age of your youngest. I think ours are the same age. What do your office hours look like now that seems to be working for you?
I'm a mom pocket worker, so I still get up early. Everybody laughs about that, but I'm a 5 a.m.er. Huge believer in getting up and starting my day off right, because I always say you have to control your morning before your day, controls you. And so getting up. I'm up at 5. I do my miracle morning. I do my personal development. I do my journaling. I do all those things. If you do the miracle morning, you'll understand what all of that means. It kind of gets you focused in on your day. And then I will usually get a good power hour in before getting the kids up for school. So during the day, it's kind of a pocket thing because I have a 3-year-old. So, I may have, a call with a coach here and there, but I don't really set anything totally in stone during the day. I still work around, my family. They're my number one, and why I did this and pushed for it so I could be totally present for them. So that's kind of how my day is. My daughter plays volleyball, so I work in the car a lot still. I built my business in the car. So it's like always the quiet time. It's when the boys would be entertained and she'd be in practice, and that's when I built my business. So find those pockets of time. That works. I mean, make your schedule of when you need to get those power hours in and have a plan. Know when you're going to do certain calls and things like that. But those pockets are when I would really get things done. I mean, a good 10 minutes and I could whip off a good, 15 messages and return messages in the car and, sitting in the line, picking up the kids from school. That's a great time to listen to extra personal development. Those times are just, you have to take those moments and use them. Those are the moments. So we're all busy. Everybody has the same amount of time in the day. You have to be very smart about how you're using your time.
Awesome.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's comforting to know. I mean, that's what I'm doing now. And it's comforting to know that you're not sitting at your computer for 8 hours of the day,
No, you can't. That's not, you can if you want, but do we want to do that? No.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Some of you people are on phone. Go ahead, Mallory.
I have a quick question. I'm just wondering, when your business was really, right before you really got to take it off, what would you say are business activities that you were doing that you found were just kind of wasting your time, or you were spending too much time on and they weren't really producing any results?
Probably myself, and where I see a lot of coaches, they'll spend so much time like thinking you have to have like the perfect picture or like the perfect video, and you spend so much time trying to be perfect, and then you lose out on opportunities when you spend so much time trying to match what other people are doing, because what worked for them, like I said, may not even work for you anyway. So I think you just have to keep it simple. Keep things super, super simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think you have to do like everything the best. I was never like very techie at all. I'm still not. Hello, I couldn't even get on here. I've never been one of those. I never even, guys, I don't even use my website. My husband set it up. I don't even use a website. There are so many things that aren't necessary to be successful. I think we overwhelm and we overcomplicate so much. Just keep it simple. This is a people business. Talk to people. Talk to them. It is behind the scenes where the work is happening. It's truly connecting, getting to know people, finding out where they struggle, and just be that person that they're going to turn to when they really are ready. You want to be that person. So that's my advice on that. I don't know if I answered your question either.
You did. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, Lynette.
Yes.
You're still muted.
Sorry. Thank you, Jayme. Sorry, Caitlin. Anyway, you mentioned something which definitely raised something in my brain. You said you're going back to the basics. And this obviously is in line with what you just said about keeping it simple. So tell me, what do you mean about going back to the basics?
Just truly, I think that so many people get caught up in rank and income and chasing that shiny object, it happens. I think that we lose the focus of what this business is truly all about. And it is truly about helping people get results. So I have just refocused my entire team on going back to what I did in the very beginning. And that's what I did. In the very beginning, my focus was completely on helping people get results. I mean, I wasn't signing coaches. I didn't even know what diamond meant. And I was doing well then. And that's what I enjoyed and loved. And so I think, things can just get a little overwhelming and you think you have to be doing all these things. If you just go back to that main focus, like what Carl is really helping us do with the All Access Pack, I mean, that is truly the focus. Help people get results. Those people become your lifers. They fall in love with the process. Those are your people that you're going to bring on to a team that's going to thrive because they believe in what our purpose is. So don't chase the shiny objects. Stay focused on the main reason that we do this, and know that the good things can happen. Those good things, income and rank and all that stuff will start happening naturally without you having to chase it, I guess is what I meant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lori.
All right. Hi, Jayme. Thank you
Hi.
again so much for talking with us. I loved everything that you also had to say. So I am a new coach, and I don't know why I'm getting a little choked up here. I guess it's been a journey so far.
Well, she's going to make me cry. I have to go over here.
I'm emotional all the time. Look at me. So I had my second son in June, and okay, gather it together. So it started in September, and just recently joined as a coach, and dealing with a lot of getting out of the comfort zone. I'm loving everything. This has been such an awesome opportunity, and Caitlin, Carrie, and Mallory are awesome. So glad that we were able to get to see you. But okay, getting it together now. So my question, I had to write it down. I live not in my hometown, but in a larger community in Morgantown, West Virginia. And the community I see a lot of opportunity for, especially with moms. So I just wanted to ask your opinions, being from a small town, so you know a lot of people, and with your fitness studio. Did you do any live community events, info gatherings about your experience? And if so, what kind of tips maybe do you have for me? I'm getting ready to actually sign up. Mallory, I'm going to do PIO Live certification. So I'm super excited about that and getting out of that damn comfort zone. So just wanted to, tips on maybe being a little bit more organic with face-to-face, growing my business rather than strictly the social media.
Right. Well, that was a benefit of instructing, because I did get to do a lot of face-to-face. So I did a lot of things in my studio because it was my own. I know if you're an instructor at other places, they kind of frown upon if you're, talking Beachbody, but I had my own place, so I totally could. So I had stuff in my studio, pamphlets, packets. I sold packets out of my studio all the time, so they were able to try it. I would do little contests, there, so that they could win that kind of stuff to try too. And then I would talk about the fact that I wanted to help them outside of class, so they understood what challenge groups were. So that was kind of my face-to-face. Other things I did in my community, anytime they did like a health fair, or at the school, they would do, some type of like little booth type things, different places. I would do those. Did it help me tremendously? I mean, I can't say it helped a ton, but it was exposure. I mean, I think any exposure is good exposure. I just don't do those kind of things anymore. Obviously it's kind of can sometimes take your time away from you, I think, if it's not going to be a big return for you. But I don't think they're bad if you've never done something like that. But if you're going to become an instructor, that gives you an awesome opportunity to do PIO in the park, or, you know, stuff like that, where you can have a group of people come and do a Shakeology, you know, taste sampling, or, you know, things like that, that you can bring people into what, you know, Beachbody really is. So yeah, lots of opportunity to share face-to-face too. I think that scares people the most, for sure. Everybody wants to stick to social media, but face-to-face is good too.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, I have one more that I want to ask.
Okay.
Real quick, so I don't want to take up all your night here. So you have a very specific style. If anybody hasn't looked at Jayme Thompson Health and Fitness, go ahead and do that. I think she's got a really, really great style and serious consistency on there. And I will admit that at first when I started following you, it was so consistent. I thought, man, like, what are people getting out of this consistency? You know, what are people getting out of this? And I'm not kidding you. The more I looked at it and the more I looked at it, I kept looking at it. Right? Like I kept going to her page. I kept going to her page. I'm like, well, obviously this is working. And then it was like, light bulb, she's got it going on. But it took me a minute, you know, and I am drawn to that consistency as an outsider and as a coach. So how did you kind of wrap your head around that? How did you come up with that specific style, or did it just kind of happen, or did you kind of deliberately figure out what worked for you and then you just kind of went with it?
And I teach that too to my team, the schedule of my posting. So I found, like I said, people like the motivation type thing. So that's what I do first, you know, most mornings. Today was a horrible day. So wasn't real motivating this morning, but it was real life. I post real life. So morning, I usually post anywhere between 6 and 8 a.m., some type of motivational quote. Always put yourself in the picture. Yes, those Pinterest pictures are great, and, you know, the supermodel, but they are not motivated by that. They're motivated by seeing you. So I always tell my coaches, find a quote you love that like is something that connects with you, and take a picture of yourself, put it on there. My goodness, there's tons of apps. Like, I'm not techie at all, but find one that you like and do that. Get very consistent on, that's how you add value. That's how you create that following. They know, like my coach, my following would know I'm going to do that post in the morning. They would tell people. My mom works in the bank, and she has people that constantly tell her, I love waiting to see her post in the morning. And I'm like, no pressure. Okay. But it is that consistency. Then I do a workout video every day. And yes, I have my brothers who make their comments about that. But you know what? I don't care, because that's not my audience. That's not the people that, you know, want my help. It's the people that see I'm a busy mom and I have days I don't want to work out, but I know that it is what is good for me, and showing that every single day. So I got super consistent and always showing some type of workout. Then in afternoon, I usually would post something about my family, my kids, something just going on in my life. I think it's always important to show that with the health and fitness too. It's always important to do some type of recognition, recognize people in your life, whatever, however, you know, showing that positive and that you're constantly supporting other people is so important, because that's huge with what we do. And then my evenings, so food, of course, something, either Shakeology or a food type post is always important. I kind of mix those all up. And then my evenings are always my inviting type times, generally, most of the time. So if I'm doing an invite to a sneak peek or a backstage pass, or to the coaching opportunity, to my next challenge group, to my free group. I mean, you know, we have tons of things to invite people to. I try to always do those in the evening, because that's your prime time. That's when your most eyeballs are on your page. So that's when you want people to really see those types of things. And it's totally cool to mix those things up too. Some days it doesn't work that I'm going to be in that exact order, and that's totally fine. But that's always my schedule. And then that way it's simple for your coaches to be like, okay, I have a time frame. These are like good times. And not everybody has that time. It's their best. You know, you got to teach your team to kind of find, okay, what's the best time for you to do those types of posts? Of course, the like page is never ever the same as your personal page. So it's hit and miss on that one all the time. But I mostly focus on my personal page anyway. I built my business on my personal page. People always ask that question too. I did not build my business with my like page.
Wow, that is so interesting. I'm so worried about getting locked out of Facebook if I put anything Beachbody on my personal page.
I do every day.
What? Okay, I'm changing it up, guys. Okay, I'm totally doing that now.
Yeah, my focus is 100% my personal page.
Awesome. So good to know. I'm so glad you just said that.
Okay. You don't use the Fit page at all then?
I double post. I just copy paste it and put it onto my like page too.
I wonder if I scared us with that, Caitlin, because I remember when I first started coaching is when the Facebook jail was all going around. And I know I'm from the Pittsburgh area, so Melanie Mitro and her whole team were kind of in Facebook jail there for a while. And so we witnessed that and kind of panicked. And so I wonder if I instilled that fear in our whole team.
Yeah, don't let it scare you. I mean, who is it? Bonnie? What's Bonnie's last name? Good grief.
Engel?
The top coach. She's a top 10.
Bonnie Engel.
Yes. I heard her say it again. She just double posts. She's personal page too.
Wow, I'm gonna make this change then and see how much response, the difference that it makes. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else to say or share or question? Awesome. Well, thank you, Jayme. That was so helpful. I'm like beyond blessed. We are so excited that you were able to do this, and just thank you for taking an hour out of your busy schedule to do this for us. And I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for asking me. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. I hope it helped.
Oh, so much. Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.